is between them in the Gold Cup, headed by number 1, Always Aloof, ridden by Willie Carson, riding in his 13th Gold Cup, which he's won 3 times. 2 is Assessor, a first ride in the race for Richard Hughes. 3, Double Trigger, a second ride in the race for Jason Weaver, who won it on this horse last year. 4 is La Tahab, a 5th ride in the race for Richard Quinn. 5 is Nononito for France, a first ride in the race for Sylvain Guillot, who won on his first ride at the Royal Meeting earlier in the afternoon. 6 is Classic Cliche, a 4th ride in the race, all of them incidentally, all the predecessors on Vintage Crop, for Michael Kinane. 7 is Upper Montclair, a first ride in the race for Brett Doyle. Here's how they bet.
And opinion down here in the ring is hardening in favour of Double Trigger. Open down here at 4-7, now 1-2. I've seen a bet of £20,000 on the rails to win 10,000. Classic Cliche, friendless, no money this morning, now 2-1. Early here, 9-4, now 5-2. 16-1 Nononito from 14. Some money for Always Aloof, one of the outsiders, 20-1 into 16-1. Then they bet 20-1 Assessor, 66-1 La Tahab, and 100-1 Upper Mount Clare.
All set, and they're away. And the white face on the right of Double Trigger shows, with on the left Classic Cliche. Between horses is La Tahab, and La Tahab it is now, and Double Trigger. These two with Double Trigger going on from La Tahab, Classic Cliche. Then Assessor, behind Assessor is Nononito for France, then Always Aloof, and the only mare, Upper Mount Clare. And Double Trigger, the leader, now as they race towards the intersection from La Tahab and Classic Cliche. He had to do it the hard way last year, this son of Elomanamou, who was bidding to become one of only 6 in the long history of British racing to win the Ascot, Goodwood and Doncaster Gold Cups in one season. And he's coming up now towards the winning post on the first circuit. The leader from La Tahab, Classic Cliche and Assessor, then Nononito, Always Aloof, and Upper Mount Clare, and getting a tremendous cheer as though this was the final circuit. That he's bowling along in the lead, a couple of lengths ahead of La Tahab, who's about 2 lengths up on Classic Cliche, then another couple to Assessor, and 2.5 to just in behind him Nononito, and behind Nononito, Always Aloof and Upper Mount Clare. Double Trigger, just passing the 1.5 mile point in this 1996 Group 1 Gold Cup, worth 118,872 to the winner, 38,900 to the second, 19,000 to the third, and 9,350 to the fourth. And they've got just over 1.25 miles to run now. Double Trigger, the leader, from La Tahab and Classic Cliche and Assessor and Nononito, Always Aloof and Upper Mount Clare, passing the 1.25 mile pole. Double Trigger and Jason Weaver. Jason and Double Trigger with a 100% record in the race so far, having won this together last year. Lead by a couple to 2.5 from La Tahab, with Classic Cliche poised close in third. Then Assessor, Nononito, Always Aloof, and Upper Mount Clare. And that was the mile pole they passed then, with Double Trigger the leader from La Tahab, Classic Cliche and Assessor and Nononito, Always Aloof, and Upper Mount Clare past the 7. Double Trigger, the odds-on favourite from La Tahab, Classic Cliche and Assessor, getting a little bit closer, and Aloof, Always Aloof, racing towards the half-mile mark now. Double Trigger, the leader still by 2 from La Tahab, Classic Cliche, Assessor, Nononito and Always Aloof, and Upper Mount Clare. Racing into the home turn now, And Jason asking Double Trigger to quicken a little further. Classic Cliche is still poised in third under Mick. Assessor's getting closer. Nonanito for France is next, though Latab is holding his place as well. Round the home turn, and it's Double Trigger the leader, with Classic Cliche the challenger towards the stand side. Latab between horses. And it's Double Trigger being pressed now by Classic Cliche. Double Trigger pulling it out now with his white face over on the far side. Classic Cliche on the near side. They're coming to the furlong pole. There's little between them. Double Trigger on the far side. Classic Cliche on the near side. Classic Cliche beginning to wear him down. It's going to be another for Mick. Classic Cliche wins the Gold Cup. Classic Cliche the winner. Double Trigger is second, and Nonanito for France is third. Then Always Aloof and Latab, and behind them Upper Montclair, and finally Assessor. And so the result of the 1996 Ascot Gold Cup is first, number 6, Classic Cliche, owned by Godolphin, trained by Saeed bin Suroor, and ridden by Michael Kinane. Second was number 3, Double Trigger, owned by Mr. Ron Huggins, trained by Mark Johnston, and ridden by Jason Weaver. And third was number 5, Nonanito, owned by Mr. Patrick Siba, trained by Jean Lesbourd, and ridden by Sylvain Guillot, with fourth, number 1, Always Aloof.
Result of the Gold Cup. First, number 6, Classic Cliche at 3-1. Second, number 3, Double Trigger, the 2-1 on favourite. And third, number 5, Nonanito at 16.